Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot, and welcome to our second leg in our day in the life of a Swiss A220 pilot. We've just landed in Santorini and we are going to fly back to Geneva with an estimated time of departure in 25 minutes. We're still deboarding the aircraft right now as we have arrived with a little delay inbound, but let's go ahead and make it a quick turnaround so that we can ensure an on-time departure back home. Alright, join me in the flight deck and then we can start preparing our airplane for today's flight. Now, as always, the first thing we are going to do is to import our flight from SimBrief down here, and then we can have a look into the flight plan. We're already familiar with the weather here at the departure airport and the en route weather. For the arrival, 15:55 is going to be our ETA. Now, let's have a look into what we got there. Destination Geneva. Yeah, look at that. From 1500, 220, 25 gust 35 with thunderstorms. But tempo between 15 to 2000. So it could be there or it could not be there. We don't know for sure. For our destination Zurich, they're showing the same Prop 40 tempo thunderstorms. So just looking over the other airport we got over here. I'd say Milano is probably the best one to take extra fuel for. So let's just scroll up a little bit and see what we'll need for that. So, oops, let's find that alternate. So Milano plus 500 kilos of fuel. Actually, Paris is just 360 more. So let's take fuel for Paris. Why not? Okay, and then what do we have? 7.4. 7.5. Hey, tell you what, let's call it 8 tons of fuel. Then we got all we need. Alright, so load sheet, SimBrief import, and for the fuel load we're gonna go with 8,000 kilos, and that should give us plenty for our way back, plus a little bit of extra. Okay, here we go, looking good, and then let's find our departure charts. So Santorini Airport sits runway 33, let's take that one here. Our sit is fairly easy.
Aegean 7 India November actually, tower on 118.05.
Modex 1 X-ray, straight out 340.
118.05 for tower.
Doesn't get any harder than that, does it? Okay, so we got that stuff, then let's have a look into GSX and what's going on there. Deboarding is completed, so let's go ahead and get the cleaning services. And while we're working on that, we can also attach some chocks here and put a ground power unit in place. Nonetheless, Swiss doesn't want us to release the parking brake, so we're going to leave that thing in place. External power is available, but connected, saves a little bit of fuel on the APU, even though we will keep the APU running because of the power, or because of the fuel that it saves from the APU, if the APU doesn't have to use its generator. Okay, good. So we got that stuff. Then let's go down here. We're departing Santorini, runway 33. Synchronize the weather. That's looking good. And for our takeoff weight, looking at 58 tons. Like this. Calculate. And that looks good. Alright, that way we know that we can depart. So that's good. And yeah, then we have done the initial items. So let's go out for the walk around. Right, cleaning staff is just about coming on board here. And yeah, I'm just going to put the camera or something like that. Okay, and then we can start right down here. So, external power access panel. Nice level of detail in there. Really gotta say that. Really nice level of detail. Alright then, a lot of probes. Ice detector, pitos, AOA vane, and TAT probe are all tracked. No signs of bird strike or anything. All looking good. Then let's have a look at the landing gear. Also into the gear bay. And down here, everything looks fantastic. Nice level of detail everywhere. And that's all looking good. So over here we can check all of our probes again. Then let's walk backwards. This is all looking good. So looking at the engine, especially the fan blades, everything's fine, no sign of damages. The engine inlet is also looking very good. You can see that this is still a fairly new aircraft. Then going over the leading edge on the side over here, everything is looking fine. And then we can have a look at the trailing edge, looking for any sign of bird strike damages or anything that might have happened. Alright, tires are looking good, brake wear indicator pins are looking good. And all the landing gear assembly, all looking good, no leakages, no nothing. Very good. Then let's go to the back of the aircraft. And over here we've got a couple of valves. The stabilizer, both horizontal and vertical, are looking excellent. APU area, all good. No signs of a tail strike or anything. So that's all fantastic. And the stabilizer is looking good on this side. Alright, leading us back to the left-hand wing. Let's start with the landing gear and the gear bay. Up here, everything is good. Alright, then we have the trailing edge. You can nicely see the curvature of the wing there, especially when you look towards the trailing edge of the wing. Just look at this, you can nicely see how it's going down and then up towards the back. First time I see this on a narrow body aircraft. Very visible on the A330. But it was hardly visible on the 737, to be honest. Nor on the A320. So the 220, very distinct shape on the wing there. Alright, so everything is looking good over here. Then let's go right back up, and then we can... Why do you close the doors? Where is the lever? Gotta be click spot. Here it is. Alright, thank you. So the cleaners are still at work. Alright, and here we are. So let's just go ahead and put all those sunshades up to keep it a little bit colder in our flight deck. Just something we do like all the time in the real world. Having those sunshades up when you're in a hot place. Alright, you and you. Okay, cool. So that's all done. Then let's go ahead to reset all checklists. Yeah, I'm gonna take the power on off just because of it. And then let's continue with the pre-flight checklist, please. It's not the first flight of the day, so airplane documents are on board, OEBs are checked, emergency equipment checked, gear pins on board, overhead panel. So up here there is not gonna be a lot for us to do. Except for turning the fasten seatbelt sign on right now. Refueling is already completed. Okay, glass shield, again. Not all that much for us to do. So that's checked. Displays. We're not gonna need the VSD for this departure. You can have it if you want to. Okay, ICAS and info is looking good. Altimeter, QNH 1012. Center panel. Set, pedestal. Set, side sticks. Are checked, and that's the pre-flight checklist complete. Okay, fantastic. With that out of the way, let's get our ATIS, and then we can start the pre-flight procedures from the FMS. So, 126.455.
Destination Quebec. Santorini Airport, Information Quebec. 0820 Zulu. Arriving and departing runway 33. Wind 330 at 11. Cav OK. Temperature 30, dew point 18. QNH 1012. Transition level 70. Arrival metering in effect. Expect possible airborne hold. Advise on...
Okay, fantastic. So runway 33 is in use, the rest is checked. Then let's go ahead, get our latest flight plan. and then we can start our FMS setup. So, uplink, send. Secondary, that looks good. Activate, execute. So, Swiss 2365 ET D1245, and while we're on that, request boarding. GSX. So, runway 33, Modex 1 X-ray. Here it is. Done. And for the arrivals, we got the Banco 3 Romeo arrival for an ILS approach runway 22 from Saper. Alright, done. And then our alternate is going to be Zurich. We're going to cruise in 17,000. So, average wind 210 at 27.
All aircraft.
And the ISA deviation is plus 14. Alright, execute. So, wind data, uplink. There it is. Fuel. So, 8,000. Why is that an invalid entry? Oh, because I'm in zero fuel weight field. Yeah, okay, that is an invalid entry. I can accept that. Okay, so 49,533. That looks better. And 8,122. That's all good. Execute. For the performance, so takeoff 1, 29,3540. So 293540. Alright, and noise abatement procedure is number 2 in here. So 1000, 1000. And that's it. So set takeoff speeds, climb panel, transition altitude. Is 5,000. Okay, execute, all looking good. And then for the route. So, basically, straight ahead, radial 340 in Modex. And we go straight ahead, 340 in Modex. Alright, easy as that. The rest is looking excellent down there. Then, engine outset, straight at 2 DME, Sierra November India, right turn, radial 360 at 9 DME, enter the holding. Alright, so, fixed page. Sierra November India. 2 DME. Sierra November India. And that's gonna be 360. And another Sierra November India. 9 miles. Oh, that one's wrong. So 2 DME, 360, and 9 miles, where we are going to enter the hold. Alright. So that's done. And that's looking good. Fantastic. Cool. Then we can detune the minimum. So, squawk should have been 2000, and the call sign is Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha. Okay. Good, with that we're basically done with our setup. So let's see what's going on around us. And let's have a quick look into the messages here. But that's all nonsense. 140. Like that. And the initial climb we'll see. Pre-select something like that. 4,000. Should be good. Okay, good. So we're done with our setup. What's the boarding doing? Walking in. Just a single bus from the looks of it, but should be alright. Okay then. All these services are nicely on the way, so let's go ahead and do the departure briefing. So we're going to depart from Santorini's runway 33 with a flaps 2 departure, and we got the Marex 1 X-ray departure. Initial climb to be confirmed with our traffic control, MSA 3600. Extra fuel and time 881, so basically 45 minutes. Why do we get minimum barrel 0? Because I didn't deselect it. Okay. Here we go. That's better. Yeah. Cool. So we're taxiing out of runway 33, and it's a pretty narrow runway. That's my main point here, just 30 meters wide. The departure takes us, or rather the engine outset takes us straight out to 2DME from Sierra November, India, which is that one here, and then a right-hand turn, 360 outbound until 9DME, which is that one here. And then we are going to enter a holding over there and then decide on the further course of action. Generally speaking, Santorini, we're below the max landing weight. We can come back if we absolutely have to. Otherwise, Athens is just 80 miles away. So we can always just divert to Athens as well. Well, and that's what I got. Do you have any questions or suggestions? No? Alright, then that's our departure briefing completed. Cool. So let's see, the boarding seems completed. Is it? Yeah, 140 boarded. Good. Prepare pushback and departure. Alright, and then we can go ahead and get the IFR clearance. So which ATIS did we have?
Wind 340 at 11. Cav OK. Temperature 29er, dew point 18. QNH 1012. Transition level 70. Arrival metering in effect. Expect possible airborne hold. Advise on initial contact. You have information Romeo.
Romeo. Santorini Tower, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, information Romeo, request IFR clearance to Geneva.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, cleared to Geneva via the MAID X1 X-ray departure. Initial climb flight level 090. Departure on 125.39er. Squawk 1572.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, cleared to Geneva via the Marex 1 X-ray departure, climb flight level 90, departure 125.39er, and squawk 1572. Okay, so they still have one open door. So remove chocks and power. Then let's have a look at the load sheet, where we got a zero fuel weight of 40... That makes no sense. Here you go, 49,687.
And welcome aboard Swiss International Airlines Flight 2365.
Okay, before we do that though. 90. Modex 1 X-ray, runway 33. And departure frequency 12539er. And last but not least, squawk 1572. So So everything's selected, then we can remove all of that stuff. Okay, and now let's do our load sheet. So the zero fuel weight 49,687. Like this, and the center of gravity is at 30.1. Okay, fuel is looking good. 140 passengers. Execute, and we're at 57,581. We calculated 58 tons, so we can keep the performance. That's looking good. Okay, fantastic. Before start checklist. Departure briefing completed. APU external power on APU. And then let's call for clearance. Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, request pushback and startup.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, push and start approved. Face south.
Push and start approved, face south, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha. Good. Park and brake set. Before start checklist complete. Let's close that door. Thank you. Alright, ground from cockpit. Pushback and start approved, facing south, and the park and brake is set. Roger, facing south, release brakes. Brakes released. Thank you, and you're clear to start both engines. Roger, start sequence 1 and 2, and we'll commence engine number 1 now. Clear 1. Engine 1 start. Pushback completed, set park and brakes. Park and brake set. Unable next altitude. Which altitude? There is no restriction on here. Okay, ground, we have a good start in engine number 1. We are starting engine number 2. Clear 2. Engine 2 start. So, Taktober. Okay, now our flight deck is nice and tidy. And look at this, we are supposed to push at 45. Actually, a couple of minutes ahead. That's pretty good. Okay, finally, the motoring for engine number 2 is over. Ignition is coming on, and here we go. Okay, ground. We have 2 good engine starts. You're clear to disconnect. Show them the pin on the right hand side and have a wonderful day. Bye bye. And looks like they are long gone anyway. Before taxi checklist. So APU off, anti-ice, auto, flaps, 2 flight controls, full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, and the rudders. At least once the flaps come out, because you can see the rudder limiter is extending here. Alright, so left, right, and neutral. Flaps and ICAS and info checked. Before taxi checklist complete. Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, request taxi.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, taxi to holding point runway 33 via Kilo Echo Alpha Golf.
Holding point 33, Kilo Echo Alpha Golf, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha. Alright, so it's Kilo Echo Alpha Golf. Easy going. Clear left side, clear right side. Okay, so Kilo is straight ahead, and then we'll leave the apron at the end with a left turn out. Alright, Echo will be next left. Here we go, 10 knots, maximum wingspan, no problem. Especially because we are coming from where that restriction applied. Okay, the left side is clear. And so is the right side. Before takeoff checklist. APU bleed, auto, FMS, set, trims. Set, flaps 2, anti-ice, auto brake, RTO, ICAS and info, checked, thrust, checked, runway. We're already on the way to 3-3. And cabin ready before takeoff checklist complete. Alright, to review the takeoff briefing, it's going to be a lefty takeoff, runway 33, flaps 2, noise procedure number 2, and the takeoff speeds are going to be 129, 135, 140. Sit straight ahead, right turn, intercept the radial 340 outbound Sierra November India, which is active on the VORs, should a conventional backup be needed. And then we are going to proceed to Marex. Climbing level 90, MSA 3600, and the engine out sits straight at 2 DME, Sierra November India, right turn 360 outbound until 9 DME, hold in 4000, and then we can either come back over here if it's really urgent, or for anything where a slightly longer runway may be useful, we are gonna go to Athens, which is just 80 miles to the north. Alright, any questions or suggestions? No? Fantastic, so that's our briefing complete. The cabin is done with their announcements already as well, so we are basically ready for departure.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, contact tower on 118.05. Have a good afternoon.
118.05, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, bye-bye. Tower low, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, ready for departure.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, Santorini Tower, runway 33, winds 340 at 11, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 33, clear for takeoff, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha. Okay, the approach is clear.
Approaching 3.
Okay, are you happy with the rolling takeoff? Yes? Good. Takeoff.
On runway 3.
And you haven't seen it, but I've just armed the auto thrust using a key command. knots, thrust set. Rotate. Balls of climb. Gear up.
From Soleil 42 Victor Delta. Winds 340 at 11. Clear to land runway 33.
Clear to land 33. France Soleil 42 Victor Delta.
This is Yankee Alpha, open for departure. Bye now. Departure, good afternoon. Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, passing 1500, climbing 9000.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, Santorini departure, identified. Climb flight level 120, direct made X.
Climb level 120, Mount Made X, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha. Okay, set. 12,000 checked. Climb sequence. Flaps 1. Flap 0. So, beautiful look at the island over here. Autopilot on. Especially those cities over there are just really famous for these superb white houses next to the cliffs. It's a bit of a pity that all those departures here are Moza basement departures. Otherwise we could have had a closer look at this, because 29 Palms has really implemented all of that in their scenery as well. They didn't just do the airport, they did the entire island. And that is pretty nice. Pretty nice. Okay. I guess checked. After takeoff checklist complete. Alright, and with that we are on our way again. So let's start with the important question. ETA 1535, and the schedule would have been 1555. So we're actually running very well. And we'll have 220 kilos extra, giving us about 15 minutes. Bit more. But in case there is some weather over the airport, we can wait it out before we decide on a possible diversion. Optimum 390. Then we could of course think about just climbing to 380 instead of 360. What's the flight plan say about that? And set standard. So now at cross-check, passing flight level 70 now. Checked. $2,000 feet above, they say not available. But yeah, 2,000 below burns more fuel, so hey, let's climb 380. So, orbit Modex, and I gotta say, this is a pretty neat looking island as well here. Not as nice as Santorini, but can't have it all. Alright, well, let's do what pilots would really do. Where's the click spot? There it is, it's up, good. Alright.
Your guests.
So, passing 100.
Electronic devices is now permitted in flight mode. Your cabin service will begin shortly.
And that's it. Alright then guys, for now sit back, relax and enjoy the flight with us. And then I see you later when we start the approach to Geneva. Well, that was a quick flight. We are already descending towards Geneva, and we can already see our destination, well, right over here. Now, we've just left the worst of the mountains behind us over here, and we are now descending down into the valley.
Contact Geneva, final approach on 120.305.
Into the valley where we're eventually going to get radar vectors for the approach. Alright.
Final approach, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha. Good evening, flight level 140 descending near Banco 3 Romeo.
So, let's see what ATC's got in store for us.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, Geneva final approach, identified. Good evening. Expect the ILS runway 22 approach into Geneva. To confirm you have information Quebec.
Alright, ILS 22, information Quebec, and then we can take ATC back from our FO.
expecting the ILS runway 22 approach into Geneva. Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha.
I have ATC. Let's see if he understands that.
Got it, Emmanuel. You're in charge of the comms now.
He did. Okay, beautiful. So then, 250 over Rivelo, and we are a little faster than that right now, so let's get some speed brake here to help it reduce. And then we can go ahead and have a quick look at what exactly we're about to do right now. So, our arrival is the Banco 3 Romeo arrival, basically leading us into a downwind over here. And then it's going to be radar vectors to the final. Alright, let's approach runway 22. Here it is, that's what it looks like. 10.6 is the MSA in the arrival sector, and then 7,000 anywhere within like 2 miles from the center line. Alright, we go down to a minimum of 1570, and that is selected. And that's pretty much it. Alright then, let's not level off here. Come on, level change, let's go down to 70. Like this. Alright, good. So we're descending. Once we're at a good altitude, I'm sure ATC is...
Alpha, descend altitude 4,000 feet.
Yep. Set 4,000 checked. Set QNH. Descending 4,000, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha. And QNH 1016 is cross-checked, passing 10,500 now. Checked. Alright, that looks all good. Then let's go ahead and make sure that the lights are all on, and then we can do the approach briefing. So, Banco 3 Romeo arrival, radar vector, ILS approach, runway 22. MSA 7,000 in the approach sector, and the minimum 1570. We go around straight out to Papa Sierra, left turn back to Saper, climbing 70. And in terms of extra fuel and time, we do have more than enough. And unfortunately, as you can see, there are a couple of towering cumuluses right now, but no sign of the weather we hoped for. Alright, then we are inbound to the last waypoint from which we are going to go on to a vector. So hey, tell you what.
2 Yankee Alpha, turn right heading 090, descend 4,000. Vectors for the ILS runway 22 approach. This is for descent, speed below 210 knots.
Okay, well we can't fly that heading for long, but at least for a short time. Right heading 090, speed 210 knots, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha.
Marseille Control, good evening, Vueling 21 Mike Papa, 12000. Vueling 21 Mike Papa, Marseille Control.
Alright, so terrain is over there, clearly in sight.
Alpha, turn left heading 360.
Left 360, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha. Alright, that sounds better to me.
Vueling 21 Mike
Cool,
Papa,
then the glide slope is slowly approaching over here. I think this actually looks fairly good. Now for my part of the briefing, flight director guided ILS, flaps 4, idle reverse, auto brake medium.
turn right heading 265.
Further left 265, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha. Yeah, this is looking good. Alright then, let's help it a bit to get down. And flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. So, speed was supposed to be 210. Let's make sure we fly that. Okay, so we got that nice stuff. So as mentioned, flight director guided ILS, flaps 4, idle reverse, and auto brake medium, vacate the runway to the left, taxi to the gate wherever they park us. I've got no idea. And nothing special, nothing non-standard. Threats, terrain displays active, but it's VMC everywhere, so that's nothing to worry about. Questions? No? Fantastic, so that's our briefing completed. Okay, flaps. Actually, no, let's keep them for now. Okay, so radial indirect.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, 10 miles from Golf 808. Turn left heading 255. Cleared for the ILS runway 22 approach.
Left 255, cleared ILS 22, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha. Okay. So, direct 2. Let's do PTEL. And the final approach course is 223. Execute. Here we go, that looks good. And we are cleared for the approach. We are receiving the localizer. Approach mode armed. And speed brakes are going in. 1000 to go. Descent and approach checklist, please. So, FMS set, minima 1570 baro, auto braking medium, ICAS checked, arrival briefing completed, descent and approach checklist complete. Why are you... Ah, because approach mode is active, okay. Let's do that ourselves. Okay, we're what, 12 miles out? Let's start reducing speed. Flaps 2. Speed check, flaps 2.
Auto throttle. Auto throttle.
I'm not sure why I didn't want to accelerate now. But we are definitely not doing that.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, contact Geneva Tower on 118.705 when established.
118.705, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, bye-bye. Block 1. Glide, slow capture. Geneva Tower, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, established ILS 22. Alright, flaps 3. Speed check, flap 3.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, Geneva Tower number 2, runway 22.
Go around altitude set.
2500.
Terrain noted. Alright, so let's keep it at the...
Yankee Alpha, runway 22, wind 090 at 4, clear to land.
Runway 22, cleared lands with 2 Yankee Alpha. Fantastic. So, taxi lights are going on. Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing. So, runway heading 223 is set. Gear down, flaps 4. Final approach speed. 134 plus 5, 139. Landing checklist. Altimeters, QNH 1016, flaps 4 indicating, cabin ready, B4 landing checklist complete. Checked, stabilized.
Approaching 2.
Gotta love those looks here when you're at that very low altitude. But don't want to destabilize ourselves, so tracked. We touched down on the 10 call again. Lovely. So, speed brings up, thruster is normal, idle reverse.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha,
17
welcome to
knots.
Geneva. Contact ground on 121.68.
12168, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha. Please tune 121.68 active. Come on, not too slow.
Got it, Emmanuel. I'll handle the radios now.
That was not the idea. But okay, whatever.
Air France 37 uniform golf holding short of 22, ready to go. 22 cleared for takeoff. Air France 37 uniform golf.
You know that Geneva is home to the largest fountain in Europe, the jet d'eau, which shoots water 143 meters into the air. Thank you for flying with Swiss International Airlines. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position. On behalf of your flight crew,
Not low, Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, request taxi to the gate.
time is 5.
Come on, KLM, keep going. I need to go up here to get clear the runway.
Swiss 2 Yankee Alpha, taxi to Terminal 1 Gate 64 via Delta, outer taxiway. Good day.
Taxi to Terminal 1 Gate 64 via Delta Outer Taxiway, Swiss 2 Yankee
Oh,
Alpha.
interesting. Haven't seen that one before. Okay, well, always something new, huh? Screenshot taken. Interesting. Okay, anyway, let's clean up. After landing checklist complete. So, Delta Alpha 64. Loading chart. So 64 is up here. Delta, outer, 64. Okay. Please start moving. Thank you. Wow, it is busy today. Look at how many aircraft we've got here. Alright, start APU.
Line 2 Charlie Alpha contact tower on 118.705.
Then 64 will be in between the two EasyJets, so
Going
tax
to
the light
tower,
off.
Line 2 Charlie Alpha, thanks.
And here we go, 64. So the lights are off, the APU is starting. Doesn't look like we have any ramp agent here. Well, there is a ramp agent on the left, but no marshaller. Well, we're gonna take the forward stop. Actually, no, we take the stop for 64, so that one here. I mean, the gate is more than large enough anyway, so who cares? Here we are. Okay, parking brake set, shutdown checklist. So, APU external power, APU on. Slots disarmed. Okay, so flight control test required? Nope. And that's the shutdown checklist complete. Alright guys, with that, welcome to Geneva. It's now 15:30, and the schedule would have been... $15:55. Wonderful. So we are 25 minutes ahead of schedule. In other words, we have a good chance to actually be, well, probably not in the car, but at least in the crew room by the time of our scheduled arrival. Well, that's something. Good result for a day. Especially flying to Greece with all the slots and everything. I think we've done pretty well here. So guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked it as well. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and with that, I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.